It's a great shot on goal. It could be there. There it is. Wow. There it is.
Great shot.
Enjoys the snap. Back to pass. Pressure coming. Unloads it. Caught at the 15 and into the end zone. Touchdown, Darien.
Bay checks out.
Saved by Escamilla.
And a great look, great effort by Lindsay Bennett.
Trying to get an aerial there.
There it is. Yes.
The Darien Athletic Foundation is proud to present high school varsity boys basketball tonight from Brien McMahon High School. It's the Darien Blue Wave taking on the Brien McMahon Senators. Welcome in, everybody. I'm Damian Andrews. So glad you could be with us for this DAF media broadcast. We just got done broadcasting the JV basketball game between these two schools, Darien and Brien McMahon. Brien McMahon winning that game 49-41 over Darien. And of course, our very own Brendan Ross, who is directing this game, was on the call for the JV game, did a terrific job. But thanks for joining us. And joining me on the broadcast tonight is the coach, Tom O'Donnell, the former Darien boys basketball head coach, longtime assistant in the FCIAC, and of course the coach of the Darien freshman football team. Coach O'Donnell.
And 28 years as the varsity golf coach, just for a little fun, too.
That's right. Let's throw in the golf coach. That's right. I'd be remiss if I didn't throw this. And we are underway here between Brien McMahon and Darien. The starting lineup for Brien McMahon: Latrell Stewart, Xavier Rojas McCray, Juwan Wiggins, Saquon Williams, Jameer Lee. Darien starts out in a man-to-man defense.
McMahon showing a lot of patience.
The Darien JV basketball team played mostly zone in their game against Brien McMahon. And nearly a McMahon turnover. And a nice shot by Latrell Stewart, the 6'2 junior guard for the Senators. Senators are coached by first-year head coach Derek Eason, longtime Norwalk assistant coach. Coach Eason had the chance to talk to him the other night as Darien is whistled for a foul. And Coach O'Donnell, he likes to pressure the ball, as we've seen at the outset here, and have his defense create offensive opportunities. And McMahon is in a man-to-man defense right now. The long three off the mark by Henry Williams. And here comes the Senators. And a nice defensive effort by Andrew Darby. Roll-lap, pulls up off the back of the iron. And a little bit of a frenetic pace here in the early going, Coach O'Donnell.
Good block there by Will Roll-up.
The starters for Brien McMahon, Darien, Justin Jordan, Will Roll-up, Henry Williams, Ryan Darby, and his brother Andrew Darby. And a long three there for Latrell Stewart.
And right there is one of the big challenges for Darien. Brien McMahon has had 7 different kids at least this year make threes.
McMahon trapping in the corners. An open look for Williams, and it's off the mark. Darien, of course, coached by Sharoy Bentley in his 4th season as the Blue Wave head coach. 3 from the corner, and that is good for Jameer Lee. So the Senators start the game on an 8-0 run. And that is an ill-advised pass by Justin Jordan over the head of Henry Williams as they try to contend with this McMahon pressure.
Darien's going to have to reverse the ball, get it to the middle, and not try and force it up against the initial side if they're going to have success against that tonight.
Always easier said than done, right, Coach
That
O'Donnell?
it is. And I'll tell you, it's a lot more fun watching Sharoy from this table than when I had to coach against him as a player. He was a tremendous player. And, of course, his dad is one of the great coaches in Connecticut history, Charlie Bentley.
Absolutely. That's right. I forgot that you were the head coach at Darien. He was playing for his dad at Harding. Of course, they won FCIACs, Harding did, in Sharoy's junior season.
He was a tremendous player, and he's done a nice job with the boys here in Darien.
He graduated in 07 from Harding, then went on to have a terrific college career at St. Joe's, played for the great Phil Martelli down in Philadelphia.
And they take their basketball seriously down there.
They certainly do, and a nice effort there on the defensive end by Ryan Darby with the block. And McMahon will reset under their own basket, out of bounds. Nice curl pass. So a nice pass there. Xavier Rojas McCray finds the big fella, Saquon Williams, the 6'3" forward.
They're going to have to do a better job of boxing him out. Otherwise, those second chance points are going to come back to hurt Darien tonight.
Well, that's what happened in the JV game. A lot of second chance opportunities for Brien McMahon. Free throw's no good. And Will Rolap brings it up the floor. And a nice steal here by Rojas McCray. Nearly slips, but maintains his balance and scores the easy 2. And Sharoy Bentley wants a timeout. His team down 12-0. 4:50 left in the opening quarter. So a big start for head coach Derek Eason and the McMahon Senators.
McMahon has everything going just the way they want to with the up-tempo game, success with the pressure, second chance points inside, and hitting perimeter shots. It's going to be a challenge here for Darien, but they have lots of time. The number 1 goal now, keep your composure and try and chip back a little at a time. Don't try and get it all at once and panic and fall right into the trap of hurrying up the speed of the game.
If you're Sharoy Bentley, what are you telling your guys in that huddle? Exactly that. Just kind of slow it down, composure.
That's the number 1 thing now is you're trying to look into the eyes of your kids and have them look at you and see that you're confident, regain their confidence, get them to breathe a little slower, remind them of the game plan, and then preach a little patience. We got lots of time here.
No surprise here. McMahon continues to pressure the basketball.
Better job by Darien. They're reversing the ball.
And McMahon stays man-to-man in the half-court set. Here's Justin Jordan up top, setting the offense. Williams into the paint, and then Williams spots up for 3 off the front of the iron. Nice play. Talk about the court vision there by Xavier Rojas McCray. Up ahead to the big fella, Saquon Williams. And he's going to the line to try to complete a 3-point play.
Darien cannot lose vision of the basketball in those fast breaks. I know Henry turned around and looked. The pass didn't come right away, and he went to relocate his offensive player, and they threw it right over his head. But really vision of that ball is going to be key on both sides for Darien here tonight.
And the free throw is good. It's 15-0 Brien McMahon as they have stormed to a big lead early in this game.
Jack Tierney on the floor for the Wave.
He misses the shot, and here comes Brien McMahon. Latrell Stewart couldn't get the scoop shot to fall. And Tierney
Right
on
idea.
The baseline.
Right idea to attack the end of the pressure with numbers, but you have to be able to finish when you get your chances.
Long three is off the mark by Stewart. You know, when I talked to Coach Eason last night about his team, he really feels like Latrell Stewart is one of those players that can take over a basketball game. He doesn't really have those kind of players, but he feels like that's a kid that could really get it going as Justin Jordan puts Darien on the scoreboard.
And there they got into the middle of the defense. They got a much higher percentage shot. Smart, good shot where they needed one.
Darien playing man-to-man. Long three rattles in and out as Jameer Lee can't get it to go down. Jordan with the basketball on the right wing.
I think Darien would be very happy to have Lee shoot from out there all night long.
Absolutely. Jordan underneath.
Another shot on the interior of the defense. High percentage shots, getting points out of each possession. That's a recipe for success.
Double clutch, gets it to go down. Long three from way up top, hits the front of the iron.
And McMahon is doing exactly what you don't want. Settling for long, low-quality shots early, not taking advantage of going inside or inside out. And they're really doing Darien a favor here. Let's see if Darien can capitalize.
Jawan Wiggins was off the mark with that long three. He is a sophomore, underclassman mistake, certainly. Coach Eason really impressed by Wiggins, though. Only a sophomore, has him playing on the varsity tonight. He feels like he could be a real facilitator for this Brien McMahon program over the next couple of years.
Good job there by Jordan.
And Paul Lewis whistled for the foul. Jordan doing a nice job that time getting the ball up the court.
Very confident and very aggressive there, not backing down to the pressure at all.
Damian Andrew, Tom O'Donnell joining you on this DAF Media broadcast. So glad you could be with us tonight. We are live from the gymnasium here at Brien McMahon High School.
See if Darien, they're facing the zone after the out of bounds play, it looks like, unless it's just the lack of player movement. Yeah, they're still in their man.
Tierney called for steps, and Darien turns it over.
Looked like they were in his zone. I think it confused Darien a little bit, but it was the lack of player movement that gave the appearance of the zone. Darien's going to have to get good player and ball movement against that man. McMahon with much more patience and unselfish passing and ball movement.
And here comes the blue wave as Darby pushes it up the floor.
Great job.
And one.
Great
and he is
job.
Fired up, Ryan Darby.
I like the way Darien came out of the timeout, and they're being very aggressive and playing with some confidence and taking it to McMahon.
You know, as you said, it's different seeing Sheroy Bentley on the sideline as opposed to on the court. So many years ago, I had the opportunity to cover him when he was a player, and he has really matured into a nice young coach here in the FCIAC. Did a lot of coaching during the JV game as well. The JV team coached by Greg Langston, another terrific high school player out of St. Joe's, a program that you know very well.
Absolutely. Great outlet from Prita Bradle, and a good finish from Jack Tierney.
So Darien has found something as they have scored the last 9 points.
Every one of their points, Damien, on the inside against the defense. Early on, they were taking threes and missing, but now doing a better job with shot selection and rebounding.
Tierney comes away with it up ahead to Jordan.
Oh,
and Jordan, a nice play.
Beautiful, unselfish pass ahead there, and again, an interior high percentage shot for the Wave. That's a recipe that'll help. And Darien has settled into zone defense to change things up on McMahon, and a great block.
McMahon turns it over, and here come the Blue Wave. Jordan from the corner, the three is good, and he is fired up. Justin Jordan having himself an opening quarter. Under 10 seconds left in the first quarter.
And great help defense in the zone by Jack Tierney. And they have the arrow, and Darien actually, if you can believe it, Damien, has got a chance to take the lead after being down 15-0.
It's been a while since I've seen a game like this. McMahon gets out and scores the first 15 points of the game, and then Darien answers with 14 unanswered points.
Basketball is very much a game of streaks. And here's
Darien.
Got to get a chance.
Jordan had a look at it before the buzzer, can't get it to go off the front of the iron. And Darien head coach Sharoy Bentley has to be very pleased with the way his team played over the final 4 minutes of that opening quarter.
Very, very noticeable change in the Darien players after that timeout. You've got to credit the coach with helping them to keep their composure, not panicking. They went from taking shots from the perimeter to getting the ball inside. They rebounded the ball better and slowly but surely chipped away. Very, very impressive comeback there from the Darien Blue Wave.
When I spoke to Coach Bentley the other night, I said, Coach, you're 0-4 in the FCIAC. Gotten off to a slow start. He looked at me and he said, Damien, we've got a great group of kids. Just have to play defense and we'll be okay. You talk about a positive attitude after an 0-4 start. Now, this is a Darien team. They lost some players to graduation, namely Alex Preston. They're big in the middle. This is a Darien team that was the number 2 seed heading into the FCIAC tournament last year, as you and I were talking earlier off camera. So Coach Bentley has really done a nice job with this Blue Wave program. This is 4th season as head coach. And we've got a good one here. Friday night high school basketball in the FCIAC. Coach O'Donnell, nothing better than this.
It's just great to feel the excitement in the gym. I think people know now we might be in for a really good basketball game tonight. And Darien has actually changed up the defense again, got to a 1-3-1 zone. And McMahon right now is a little flat-footed and forcing the shot. Great job by the defense.
Nice job by the Darien defense. Here's Turney. And
Great
Tierney.
job. Again, unselfish, looking ahead against the in transition. Just a great job by the Wave.
Textbook fast break by Darien that time.
And as quick as the McMahon kids are, they're not faster than passing the basketball, and Darien is doing a great job of it.
And as a result, the Blue Wave have their first lead of the game, up 16-15 here at the start of the second quarter. And that was Saquon Williams taking it to the basket, and he is fouled in the paint. And I believe the foul was on Tierney. Jack Tierney whistled for that foul. So the first free throw is up and good, and we are tied at 16. Want to give a shout out to our DAF media production crew, Ben Olson, Jackson Leone, running our cameras. They played in the JV game. So McMahon retakes the lead after Williams converts both free throws.
Great job stepping through, but we got to make a better selection.
Williams with the steal. And Tierney nearly ties up Jawan Wiggins and forces the turnover. There's Will Rolap setting the Darien offense. Takes it into the paint. Nice move. Can't get it to go down. And Brien McMahon comes the other way. Latrell Stewart. Xavier Rojas McCray with the ball up top. Being guarded by Justin Jordan.
Darien back in the man-to-man. McMahon a little slow to recognize.
Rojas McCray off the back of the iron. And the rebound by Peter Brado. Here's Jordan, the floater, off the bank. I don't know, Coach. I think he may have called that.
It counts just as much. And he did another great job of getting into the paint and taking a high percentage shot. Good for Justin.
Darien retakes the lead, and
the only thing I noticed there as a coach, nobody rotated back on the point when he went in. If he had missed that, that would have been a fast break opportunity for McMahon. They got to be careful with that when Jordan gets in the paint.
There's Tierney, little pick and roll action to Mitch Pryor, can't get it to go. Rojas McCray and Latrell Stewart is fouled. Tierney picks up the foul. So, you know, you look out on the floor right now, and it's a lot of Darien football players on the floor. A lot of football players playing for Sherroy Bentley and the basketball team this year. We mentioned Peter Bradle and Mitchell Pryor.
Will Rolap.
And Will Rolap. All three big parts of the Darien football team that won its third straight state championship in the fall.
Just an amazing accomplishment, and a lot of those Darien high school football players are just terrific all-around athletes.
Stewart misses the first free throw. Coach, I've been impressed with Jordan in the early going here. He's done a nice job seeing the floor.
There's no way to handle a team like McMahon and the pressure they can bring without a floor general who can make great decisions and make other players better around him, and Jordan's doing a good job so far.
Great point. Darien breaking the pressure.
He didn't make it, but they'll take that shot all night, and
right.
If they get a lot of those, it'll work in their favor.
Here's Stewart for three. That is good. And the McMahon faithful getting into it as the Senators have a 3-point lead with under 5 minutes left in the first half. And another Darien turnover. McMahon coming the other way. Stewart again.
That's who they want shooting it, and he's feeling it right now.
The lefty is feeling it. Back-to-back threes.
Darien's going to have to recognize him and spot him up on defense.
And McMahon turns it over. Back-to-back threes for Latrell Stewart, the junior guard. And as I mentioned earlier in the broadcast, Coach Derek Eason, McMahon's head coach in his first year, he really likes Stewart and what he can do with the basketball. He thinks he's at a point where they're just kind of touching the surface with him. Here's Tierney to the basket.
Again, attacking with numbers. I think that's absolutely the right way to do it. If they're going to take the chance to press you, you have to make them pay at the end, not pull it back out and let them set up and not have to pay for it.
Great point. Rojas McCray into the paint, turns it over.
Great job by the Darien defense to collapse around him and not foul.
And Darien getting it up the court quickly. Rolap to Jordan for two more.
Again, even though he's a guard, all of his shots are coming in the paint. Great job by Jordan.
Under 4 minutes remaining in the opening half. Here's Saquon Williams. Out to Michael Fuller, and the junior guard for three, converts it. 27-22, Brien McMahon. Jordan from the corner. The three is good.
He is
3 for 3.
feeling it, David.
He is having a big first half, is Justin Jordan.
Feed the beast.
Absolutely.
And he is one tonight.
And this is a very entertaining first half. And here comes Jordan. They turn it over. Williams underneath for the easy deuce.
If you can understand it, the cliche in coaching is you want to go fast, but you don't want to hurry. And last time Darien got a little bit ahead of themselves there and lost control and an unforced error.
And Darien turns it over. Here's Fuller, all the way in for two.
And this is another one of those moments where you can't lose your composure. If you can just play a solid last 2 minutes, you're in this game and looking forward to playing the second half.
You know, you look at Coach Bentley on the sidelines, and he is composed. Not really showing any frustration, and that's going to be a whistle on Brien McMahon. And I believe that is on Xavier Rojas McCray, the senior 5'8" guard. So 1:38 remaining in the first half. Brien McMahon up 31-25. FCIAC matchup. McMahon comes into this game 2-1 in the FCIAC, 4-3 overall. Had a pretty good start. Darien 0-4 in the FCIAC, 2-4 overall. And that's going to be a foul on Michael Fuller in the backcourt.
And McMahon, lucky right now, neither one of those fouls have walked Darien to the free throw line.
They get it into Tierney, back to Darby. Darby strong to the basket for two.
And again, I hope it's not being lost on Darien, the number of quality shots they're getting in the paint, and that they have to sustain that philosophy if they're going to be successful tonight.
Nearly a steal by Williams. Great hustle play by Henry Williams.
And Darien is hanging right in there, and Henry Williams really hasn't gotten started yet. If they can hang around, I wouldn't be surprised if Henry makes an appearance in the second half and gives the Wave a boost.
Here's Latrell Stewart with the ball at the top of the key. Kicks it out to Juwan Wiggins. McMahon resets.
If Darien can just be solid here and get a rebound and get down the court, they're going to be right there. Don't panic. Let McMahon do their thing. Right now, they're not attacking.
There's Fuller with the basketball over to Wiggins. Deep three from Wiggins,
And
well short.
And, they got very fortunate to get that back and get another chance, but great rebound by Jack Tierney.
Jack Tierney
Look down the court.
gets it to Rolap. Up ahead to Williams, and he's going to be fouled on the drive.
And that's what can happen sometimes with a team that's used to getting shots off fairly quickly. McMahon there took a lot of time, and sometimes you get a little anxious and you take a bad shot like that. After all that time, they settled for three steps out beyond the arc and gave it back to Darien. But we need to capitalize here on the free throw line.
Williams misses his first free throw attempt. You know, I was saying in the JV broadcast to Brendan Ross, this is such a great gym. It's one of my favorite gyms in the FCIAC. Great atmosphere.
You obviously
here.
never had to coach against those good McMahon teams in this gym.
But a great atmosphere. We're right on top of the action here. The crowd seemingly is always into it, especially when they've been good in the past.
Absolutely.
And there have been some good teams here in the past. Hard to believe this school has only been to the state finals in boys basketball 3 times, the last time coming in 1986. Time running out here in the first half. McMahon's got to get a shot off.
And that's not the one they wanted.
Blackwell, but he banks it in at the buzzer. Wow, Sherrod Blackwell, the senior guard, banks it in at the buzzer.
And Damien, to quote you earlier, I don't think he called that one. That was not the shot they wanted. They were very fortunate there. Unlucky break for Darien, who played a courageous first half.
Yeah, I don't think that Blackwell called that at all, Coach. And it's 34-28 at the half. Brien McMahon with a 6-point lead. You know, we mentioned earlier Alex Preston, such a big part of the Darien boys basketball program and volleyball program the last few years. Terrific big for head coach Sheroy Bentley. He's now playing Division III basketball out in California at Pomona Pitzer, a Division III school out in California. He's a freshman out there. As we take a look at him playing in a game, a photo of him playing in a game from earlier this season, coming off his first career double-double on January 3rd at the college level. But what a terrific athlete he was when he played for the Blue Wave.
Absolutely, and I suspect that's just the first of many double-doubles he's probably going to have for them, and I'm sure their coach is probably very happy that he made the long cross-country trip to go to school in California and play for them.
No doubt about it, and to your point, he's getting some minutes as a freshman. I don't care what level you're playing at, Division I, II, or III, if you're getting valuable minutes as a freshman, obviously the coach thinks you're a special player.
And I think he's right. He was certainly one of the very best players that we saw around here in Darien for a very long time.
Well, we are going to take a quick break. We are at the half. Brien McMahon leads Darien 34-28 here from Brien McMahon High School. We're going to take a quick break and we'll be back with second half action. Welcome back, everybody, to this DAF Media broadcast. We are at the half. Darien and Brien McMahon, the Senators, lead the Blue Wave 34-28 in this varsity boys basketball matchup. DAF Media doubleheader tonight for the first time in our organization's history as we broadcast the JV boys basketball game earlier this evening. Brien McMahon won that game 49-41. We've got a good one here at the half, Coach Tom O'Donnell. 6-point lead by the Senators, but really it was a 3-point lead with about 3 seconds left. And then Sherrod Blackwell threw up a deep three, and it went off the window and in, banked in. But Damian Andrew, alongside former Darien boys basketball head coach Tom O'Donnell, longtime assistant in the FCIAC, knows this conference very well.
That shot before the half, Damian, was what they call an answered prayer.
It certainly was, and we are underway here in the second half. Will Rolap controlling the Blue Wave offense.
And I hope Coach Bentley gave the message loud and clear. Keep attacking the inside of the McMahon defense. Don't settle for long distance shots. Get inside, high percentage shots, make a high percentage, reduce the fast breaks right there.
Back out to Henry Williams.
Darien showing good patience.
Rolap will reset the offense. He pulls up, can't get it to go. Cleared away by Jawan Wiggins. 34-28, Brien McMahon. We're just underway in the second half. And Darien in a man-to-man defense here.
Wow, it looks like, we'll be interested to see if it holds up. It almost looks like they've got Ryan Darby playing, trying to take Latrell Stewart out of the game. We'll see if they keep that up.
There's Darby, strong to the hoop.
That's what they're looking for right there. There's no fast break the other way. You can set up your defense, make McMahon work for their shots.
So the brothers Darby on the court at the same time for the Darien Blue Wave. They started this game.
And you can see they actually have told Ryan Darby, coach has got Ryan Darby saying forget about help defense. Get out there and try and keep the ball out of Latrell's hands. And there he forced the shot. You can see Latrell is anxious about not getting the ball, so when he finally got it, he forced the issue. That's the kind of thing Darien is looking for.
Jordan with the basketball as he tries to get it across midcourt to Darby.
Look up the court. Great
Nice.
job.
Nice touch pass. And a great touch pass by Henry Williams to Andrew Darby, and Darby is going to the line as Darien did a nice job. Didn't start out that way, but they did a nice job breaking down that McMahon pressure.
That whole thing again is to reverse the ball and not try and force it up the initial side against that press. It's worked well for Darien. Then you get numbers at the back end and high percentage shots. Again, that's a recipe of success.
Up and in for Andrew Darby. I don't think Darien head coach Sherroy Bentley's demeanor has changed, Tom, from the opening tip. He has remained calm on that sideline. Darby gets them both to go down, and Darien cuts the McMahon lead to 2. Jawan Wiggins, the sophomore, with the ball.
You can see the way Ryan Darby is face guarding Latrell here with his back to the ball. He's just trying to keep the ball out of his hands. And I don't blame him, seeing how Latrell had 12 of their first half points.
Nice move there. Khalid Sherrill.
Got to attack the middle. We got to get Darien's got to post somebody up in there a little bit. That'll help. But again, numbers at the end, inside high percentage shots, no fast break for McMahon. This is a pace that's playing right into Darien's hands.
Very entertaining game right now. 2-point lead for the Senators. And a turnover there as Jameer Lee steps out of bounds. And it'll be Darien ball. So the Blue Wave down 6 at the break with a chance to tie it up right now as the McMahon student section getting into this one, imploring their team. McMahon in a 3/4 court.
And that's the way to
press.
post up the middle.
And an offensive rebound by Darby, kicks it out to Jordan. Jordan, and he hits the 3. I believe he has 19 points with 4:54 left in the third quarter. Justin Jordan, the senior, having himself a ball game as Darien takes the lead up 37-36.
They're going to have to get a substitute here before too long for Ryan, who's got tough duty here trying to take Luttrell out of the game. It will exhaust you, and they'll need to get him a little relief and then get him back out there. Because Ryan's playing a heck of a game tonight, Damien.
Absolutely.
That's the reversal.
There's Andrew Darby underneath.
Again inside all night long. Pass it ahead, take it to the basket, take advantage of your numbers.
Latrell Stewart with the ball. There's Jawan Wiggins in the corner, out to Fuller. Fuller into the lane.
Wow, very
Hanging
fortunate.
shot
A tough shot there.
It certainly was.
If Darien can get McMahon to take shots like that all night, I think it'll work out for them in the end. Right now, McMahon's doing a lot of one-on-one, a lot of players standing around, not a lot of communication going on. But they have, I know also this year, they've got a lot of new players. They're playing a lot of people, and I think they're still looking for some chemistry and some combinations that will work for them second half of the season. But can't say enough about the great job Darien's doing about being patient at the front end of the press and attacking the back end, making real good decisions with the ball, high percentage shots. They keep that up, they're going to be in good shape.
Brien McMahon, of course, coached by Derek Eason in his first season as the Senators head coach. You're not going to find a better guy than Derek Eason. Of course, he was a star basketball, football player at his alma mater, Norwalk, across town. I asked him, I said, are you getting used to putting on the McMahon colors? And he said, absolutely, this feels like home. He was a longtime assistant in his alma mater at Norwalk, and a foul on Michael Fuller near midcourt.
Pretty easy call for the official, but they don't always make that call, and that always plays to the advantage of the pressing team. I like seeing the referees keeping a handle, so to speak, on the hand checking and not letting McMahon take advantage by getting to push and be overly physical against the rules.
Eason replaced longtime McMahon head coach Ken Dustin, and that is a pull-up jumper that's good by Will Rolap.
Will is just too good a player. He's been a little cold tonight for him. He's bound to heat up for the Wave, and that can only mean good things.
You know, in talking to both Coach Eason and Coach Bentley before this game, both coaches feel like this FCIAC is still wide open. There's a couple of teams that have established themselves, Trumbull, Ridgefield, Trinity Catholic, but really it's a long season and there's a lot of games to be played.
I really like the way Darien is playing defense right now. The players off the ball on the weak side of the court are jamming the lane. They have good vision of the ball. Obviously, great coaching job by Coach Bentley. McMahon is trying to beat the press with the dribble, which plays right into Darien's hands. They've been able to clog up the lane. McMahon is forcing some really tough shots. Darien can keep that up. I think they're going to be happy.
Putback is good for Brien McMahon. We are tied at 41. 3 is in and out for Rolap. Here's Jordan.
Great effort by Darien to keep it alive.
Jordan gets to the basket. Can't get it to go. Latrell Stewart to Fuller in the corner. He hits the leaner. And McMahon regains the lead, 43-41.
McMahon has pulled the pressure. If Darien can get some good player movement here, I think they'll get a screen and get a good shot.
The fadeaway is good by Will Rolap.
He's just too good a player not to show up.
Some shots that weren't falling for Darien early in the game are now starting to go down for the Blue Wave.
Correct. And again, I'm really impressed with how they recognized, I think, early on the coaching staff that Darien was settling for a lot of long distance, quick shots, missing and giving up transition to McMahon. They're doing a much better job decision-making with the ball and shot selection.
There's Saquon Williams with the ball, kicks it out to Wiggins, over to Fuller.
And what we're really looking at right now, I think, and it'll be a lot easier to tell if McMahon moves around, is a little triangle and 2 from Darien.
You know, you were talking about the face guarding of Stewart by Darby early at the start of the second half. Almost reminds me of the old boxing 1, even though they're playing a man-to-man defense. There's Saquon Williams, can't get it to go.
Oh.
And that is going to be a foul on Darien.
Got to keep your composure now. A little pushing and shoving going down there, but I like the physical nature. Darien not backing down.
So Andrew Darby called for the foul, and McMahon will get the ball out of bounds under its own basket.
Darien's got to do a better job of boxing out under their own basket and not letting the big physical McMahon kids get second chance points.
That was the issue for Darien in the JV game. Too many second chance points by the Senators. Brien McMahon did a terrific job on the offensive glass in the JV game. We are knotted at 43 in a good one here in the FCIAC. Darien, Brien McMahon. Williams, strong move to the basket, and he's going to go to the free throw line. Damian Andrew, joined by the coach, Tom O'Donnell.
Saquon Williams converts the first. Second leading scorer from McMahon in the first half with 9 points. And here's where Darien, if there's a miss, has got to rebound this ball. They've given up a couple of free throw lane offensive rebounds to McMahon. Can't let that continue.
So McMahon up by 2 with under 2 minutes left in the third quarter. Darien.
Middle, perfect.
Trying to break this McMahon pressure. Williams to Tierney. Here's Rolap up top. Into the paint and one.
Just tremendous move by Will Rollup. A good, strong, physical kid who took it right down the throat of the McMahon defense. Again, that is the formula tonight. Get it inside, high percentage shots.
And Coach Bentley with a fist pump over on the sidelines. This is a really competitive FCIAC boys basketball matchup. Both teams really middle of the pack right now, entering this game in their respective divisions of the FCIAC.
Had the pleasure and privilege of coaching Will Roll-Up in football. Just a really gifted athlete and a great young man.
He is guarding Jawan Wiggins right now with the basketball.
And McMahon, again, too much one-on-one, not enough player movement, relying on poor shot selection. Darien don't foul, and that's the thing. When Darien gets them to take those bad shots, don't do them a favor and foul them and walk them to the line.
And that foul was on Henry Williams of Darien.
I'd like to see Henry get involved offensively a little closer to the basket as well. Has some good size. He could clearly shoot the ball. He's having a cold night shooting tonight, but I know in a couple of the other games he's been a primary scorer for Darien. And when your long shot's not going, you got to get in closer to the basket to get yourself feeling it.
And that was a three by Jawan Wiggins, the sophomore, who Coach Eason's called a special talent, doesn't make many mistakes. Only a sophomore. Williams, no good.
Oh, we got the bounce that time, dude. Early call.
I called it too soon. He rattles it in, gets the bounce.
Henry really needed that just for his mental well-being.
And a nice block as Blackwell takes it into the lane. Under 20 seconds left here in the third quarter. We are tied at 48, and this one has been a doozy as Mitchell Pryor and Peter Bradle check in for the Blue Wave.
Darien's got to do a better job of preventing the lob on this line formation on the out-of-bounds play. McMahon has just been lobbing it to the middle. Good job there.
There's Justin LeBron with the ball. He had a terrific JV game for Brien McMahon. Tierney with the rebound.
Pass the ball ahead. That's it. That's not the shot Darien wants, but clock kind of forced his hand that time.
That forced Ryan Darby to put up the deep three. Doesn't even hit iron. And with 8 minutes left in this game, we are tied at 48, and this has been an absolute pleasure of a game to be at.
We've got a great one, and I think there's every reason in the world to expect it to go right down to the end. The thing I'm most impressed with was after the horrific nightmare start that Darien got off to in this game, down 15-0. Great timeout from Coach Bentley. They got their composure back. They came out. They started taking shots from the inside. They never quit coming at them. They picked away a little at a time, got themselves back in the game, and right now they absolutely believe they can win this one.
You know, you and I were talking at halftime. I don't know as if we've ever seen a game with such a momentum shift in the first quarter. Brien McMahon scores the first 15 points of the game. Then Darien rattles off the next 14 points of the game.
Can't ever remember a start to a game, especially like that. Basketball is a game of runs.
It is.
And most games are won. Each team usually, the winning team will usually have up to half a dozen during the course of a game. And if you looked at the rest of the game, the great majority of it fairly even, but those runs are what separate things. And Darien's done a great job of keeping their composure and competing here tonight.
All right, here we go, the final 8 minutes of this one. And a nice move inside by Khalid Sherrill.
Great block from off the ball by Jack Tierney. but we've got to take a charge when McMahon is driving that ball hard into the lane. Let the guys off the ball come block the shots. Stop the penetration and take a charge. And again, Darien has got to rebound if this free throw is missed.
So Sherald gets the second free throw, and McMahon up one here with 7:35 left.
And McMahon changes up the defense and shows a little bottle zone. And that's what I meant about Henry getting inside. Make a couple, get your confidence, then the outside ones will come. Great move along the baseline by Henry Williams, and the Wave have the lead again.
And a double dribble called on Rojas McCray. Xavier Rojas McCray, the senior 5'8" guard.
It's way too early to have to start saying these are must-have possessions. But Darien, if they can stretch the lead to 3 to 4 here, might get McMahon to panic a little bit. Go to the rim, Henry.
Dangerous cross-court pass
And then
from Jordan to Williams, but it pays off as he makes another nice move along the baseline.
And again, when your outside shot isn't working, go inside, and he's feeling it now. And Darien's got one of their primary scorers, confident and playing and ready to help out at the end.
And another Brien McMahon turnover.
No hurry here. Get it in the hands of your scorers. Get the shot you want.
Rolap out to Jordan. Back over to Rolap. Pulls up along the baseline and it rattles in. And Darien has a 5-point lead. And Coach Derek Eason calls a timeout for Brien McMahon.
And a good one, I think. You don't want to let it get away. You've been right in the game or having the lead most of the game. The last thing you want now is for Darien to get one of those streaks and stretch it.
I talked about Coach Eason in my conversation with him last night. He was concerned about this game. Even though Darien comes in 0-4 in the FCIAC, Coach Eason knows they are a scrappy group. He knows Coach Bentley is a good coach, and he was concerned about this game coming in.
Well, one of the Darien certainly may be 0-4, but in the league. But they played a couple of good teams.
They beat Bridgeport Central.
Right, and Trinity Catholic is certainly was the favorite in the league at the beginning of the year for some people, and they have the best 1-2 punch in the league. So, and Darien played them very physical, lost by 10, but they didn't back down, and that's one of the things I love about this Darien team. They have guards that can handle a bit, can shoot a little bit. They've got some good size, and they play physically. They're not afraid. They compete. And the best thing, I think, as I said, I've seen all night was the poise that they've demonstrated. So if they can hang in there and win a couple of games and get their confidence going, they can really look forward to the second half of the year.
Here's Jawan Wiggins up top with the ball for Brien McMahon.
I'm still surprised at how little player movement there is in the McMahon man-to-man offense and how much dribbling and one-on-one they're trying to do it with. And that's the block off the ball again that Darien can do when everyone is standing around and watching.
Jordan's circus shot in the lane is no good. Sherald comes away with the rebound. Here's Michael Fuller trying to get to the hoop, throws up an off-balance shot, misses it. Sherald, second effort, no good. And Rolap is fouled.
Good call. Since the little helter-skelter since that timeout, Darien wants to get hold of this game. And the key thing here, Damien, is you want to make sure down the stretch that your best players are getting a chance to shoot the ball. And Darien needs to run what they want to run and get it in the hands of the kids they want to have it. and not let this helter-skelter continue.
And that was a great timeout by head coach Sheroy Bentley as Justin Jordan was trapped in the corner, leaning almost out of bounds, nearly fell out of bounds, and Bentley has the presence of mind to call the timeout.
Just like a coach's son.
Yeah, just like a coach's son. We mentioned Sheroy Bentley is the son of legendary Connecticut high school coach Charlie Bentley, who spent many years at Harding High School. As you pointed out earlier, Tom, won a number of state championships, 9 to be exact.
Exactly.
When he retired, he won 651 games at the time. That was the second most in state history.
And we know who had #1 wins. That would have been Coach Montelli at St. Joe's. And I can tell you it was always an unbelievable challenge having the 2 greatest coaches and 2 of the greatest programs in state history in your league that you had to play against. You had to bring your best.
A lot of great players came out of that Harding program as Khalid Sherald.
Of course, now they're actually being coached by John Bagley, who has come
the
back,
former Celtic.
Absolutely, who played there at Harding and has now come home to be their head coach. All right, Darien, go to work here and get what you want.
So Brien McMahon in a zone. Will Rolap up top. Into the corner to Jordan, back out to Rolap. As Rolap and Jordan playing a little hot potato, and Darien turns it over at the 5:11 mark of the 4th quarter.
Yeah, I'd like to see the Darien guards do a little bit more penetrating into the lane between the 2 perimeter players, force that defense to collapse a little bit. Not all the way into it, not to get trapped, but they're kind of hanging deep outside and making those passes too long, and there's too much McMahon quickness out there. They're going to shoot those passing lanes. Darien needs to dribble it in there and force that defense to collapse, then make their pass or get into the interior of that zone if the guards will not close down that dribbling lane.
Tom, I'd be remiss if I didn't give a quick shout out to Brien McMahon, Athletic Director Joe Mataferri. I've known him for a number of years as he just walked in front of our table. Want to thank him and his staff for getting us hooked up here inside the gymnasium here at Brien McMahon High School. He's done a terrific job with the athletic program for the Senators for many years. Of course, used to be a terrific baseball coach here at Brien McMahon.
And we coached against each other at the freshman football level as well.
The drive here to the basket, and a foul by Jack Tierney as Sherrod Blackwell will go to the line. Blackwell, of course, hit that long 3 at the end of the first half with time running out.
Now, there's been a lull here for about 3 minutes with both teams having difficulty scoring. And if Darien or McMahon can put together one of those runs right now, it could determine the winner.
Off the front of the iron.
Another offensive rebound. Great block, though. Darien's got to get it in the hands of their best players here.
There's Tierney to Darby, and a nice move by Darby. Second effort, no good. Tierney, and
don't panic.
Out to Williams.
Slow it down. Slow it down. Get what you want. Great job there. Coach Bentley has his kids under control.
Here's Jordan, thinking 3, taking 3, in and out.
So close.
Rolap will reset.
I think that ball's got to get inside that zone, either through dribble or passing.
Off the front of the iron as the Rolap shot doesn't go down.
Darien doesn't want to settle for jump shots here. They want to either get fouled and go to the line or score inside. But they're going to have to get the ball in the middle of that zone, either by passing it or dribbling it in there. Too much perimeter work right now against it.
Michael Fuller up top. Swings it to Blackwell. Jawan Wiggins over to Fuller. Nice baseline move. Looking for Stewart. Now we've got a McMahon turnover.
See if they stay in the zone here. Ball's got to get into the middle of that zone, penetrate in between those into the seams. Darien's a little too much perimeter oriented right now. And McMahon's got a lot of quickness.
Jordan gets it to Darby.
There we go.
Roll lap, the three, no good. And the rebound by Wiggins. The sophomore gets it up ahead to Michael Fuller.
Don't foul him.
Nice move in the paint. Air ball. And Wiggins is going to be called for the foul.
Little fortunate there. Ryan Darby was attacking 2 or 3 McMahon defenders, and I love how aggressive he plays and how fast he is, but I'm not sure 2 or 3 against 1 is what we're looking for right now. But I do love his courage and his aggressiveness.
Paul Lewis and Saquon Williams check back into the game for Brien McMahon.
Middle of the zone, we got to get Jack Tierney to be able to be a passer from there. Get the ball to him, let him turn there, go to the weak side, and then inside the zone. Turn and attack, Jack.
Coach O'Donnell doing some coaching from the broadcast location tonight.
When Jack gets it there and has a lane to the basket and doesn't take it, he's helping out McMahon.
There's Rolap with the ball.
Got to be careful of 5-second calls. Can't get too passive.
Rolap nearly turns it over, puts it up. No good. And it's out of bounds, Darien, so it'll be Brien McMahon ball in what has been a very entertaining FCIAC boys basketball matchup between the Blue Wave and the Brien McMahon Senators.
Both teams are getting, Darien's getting a little too careful. Would like to see him attack that zone a little bit more. Don't be satisfied with your 4-point lead. You'll lose it in a heartbeat. And McMahon has to get better player movement here and not do this one-on-one stuff. That's what's going to happen to them. But they get fortunate with a second chance.
And it'll stay McMahon ball. It's out of bounds off of Darien. You know, both of these coaches talked to me in the pregame about how scrappy their clubs are. And boy, are they right on the money with those comments. Coach Eason said how scrappy his team is, likes to pressure the basketball, which they have done at times during this game. And Coach Bentley has said that he really feels like, even though they're 0-4 in the FCIAC, he goes, relax, Damian, as long as we play defense, we'll be okay. And they have played solid defense tonight.
They certainly have. The one thing that Darien could think about doing is take Jack Tierney and put him on the baseline behind the zone, put a player at the free throw line in the middle who can actually handle the ball. And when you get it there, attack the basket, get the back line to play him, and then run the baseline players for high percentage shots behind. But when Jack right now, who's not a ball handler, catches it and then throws it back out, he's doing McMahon a favor. They can reestablish the traps and the pressure. But someone who could take the ball on the dribble from the free throw line and attack that basket would get free throws and points for the Wave. Great defense from Will Rolap.
Rolap with the steal. And Darien with the ball, under 2 minutes left in this one. Blue Wave up 4.
Got to move the ball, There it is, middle of the zone, right to the rim.
Tierney with a strong move, rolls off the front of the rim. And we're going to have a foul called on Justin Jordan. So that will send Latrell Stewart to the line as we are in the bonus.
And neither team has been able to score out of their half-court offenses And we've gotten ourselves all the way down inside a minute and a half, and it looks like free throws are going to play a huge role in this one. No second chance points. Get on.
A bunch of players on the floor fighting for this one, and Justin Jordan comes away with it, gets it to Henry Williams.
Go right to the rim.
Darby, here's Tierney, lays it up and in.
Way.
So a textbook fast break by Darien.
That's the aggressiveness that they have to keep up, even with the lead. When the numbers are there, you've got to go to the rim and make them pay.
Stewart into the lane. Can't get it to go. Darby with the rebound. He finds Rolap across midcourt to Jordan.
Don't get too past, step through. There we go.
And you know, that was a situation right there where Jordan stopped his dribble. He didn't have to. Stops the dribble, draws the foul, but he almost turned it over.
The thing that has to happen is the ball has to keep moving. You can move it by passing it or dribbling it, but holding it and allowing those traps to come is the death blow.
Great point. And Sharoy Bentley wants a timeout.
One of the things he may want to do here, Coach, that's a really big thing, 6-point lead. We know that McMahon is going to have to foul when Darien's in possession of the ball, and you want to make sure that you have some of your best free throw shooters out there in the last minute of the game to be taking those free throws for you. So it'll be interesting to see if they change the lineup here at all. But expect McMahon to take it off the dribble and look for quick shots. Darien has to be careful about not being too passive against the defense and helping McMahon out. If they're going to gamble, go get them.
Certainly a lot can happen here in the last 51 seconds. You know, with the three-pointer, my dad, who was a high school basketball coach in upstate New York, he always used to say, you know, under a minute 30 left, with that, if you're down 10, you still got a chance with that three-pointer.
No question, with the three-pointer and good use of timeouts and understanding how to take advantage of fouls when the other team is not in the bonus. There's a lot that goes into clock management at the end of a game. And it looks like...
So Darien will take the ball out of bounds. Henry Williams to inbound.
Darien's got to look to maybe go backdoor here against the pressure. There we go.
Gets it to Darby.
Don't be too passive now.
And Fuller of Brien McMahon whistled for the foul.
It's one of the toughest things to learn how to do. Be aggressive, as we said, but make good decisions at the end. You can attack and still bring it back, but holding it outside on the perimeter gets turnovers into transition points.
Mitchell Pryor and Peter Bradle checking into the game for Darien, along with Andrew Darby.
Were you one of those guys who like to be on the free throw line at the end of the game, Coach?
Not really.
I used to love it.
Talk about pressure. Here's Stewart in the open floor.
Here.
And a great defensive effort by Darby to strip Justin LeBron. And LeBron throws it out of bounds. So the McMahon turnover. Had a little bit too much English on that ball, out to Stewart.
Darien had a defensive lineup on the floor. They just did a little offensive substituting. So let's see if they can either get an inside shot or get to the free throw line and convert and make this into a 3-possession game. 2 or 3 anyway.
So 36.5 seconds left in this one. Darien up 56-50.
A single free throw makes it 3 possessions in 30 seconds, and that's a big ask if Darien does a good job of taking care of the ball and being strong.
So as you mentioned a little while ago, this could come down to free throws.
No question about it, it's going to.
And a
turnover. Or turnovers.
Darien, as Brien McMahon gets the ball back. And the thing about that turnover, if you're Brien McMahon head coach Derek Eason, that you have to like, not a lot of time off the clock.
Correct. That was a big one for McMahon. And Sharoy Bentley taking a page out of his dad's book with defensive and offensive substitutions.
Long three
Got
by
to rebound
Wiggins is
it.
no good, and Darby comes away with it. Gets it to Jordan. Jordan
And
up ahead
that's the
to
way.
Brito.
That's the
And that is
interference.
goaltending.
But again, aggressive, look ahead, make them pay for pressing you. Don't hold the ball.
So a goaltending or a basket interference, right?
Correct,
On that
basket
one.
interference, correct. Don't foul here. Whatever happens, don't foul. Let him have that. Let him.
And a fight for the ball underneath the basket
Great job by Peter Bradle to.
as Bradle and Blackwell were both going for it.
Now Darien.
9 seconds left. Darien up 58-50 in this FCIAC.
Just don't foul. Ball game over.
Justin LeBron off
Don't
the back
foul
of the
him. Let him
iron.
have it.
Saquon Williams underneath gets it to go, but too little too late as Derek Eason calls a timeout with 2.5 seconds remaining and his team down 6 points, 58-52 to Darien. You know, Peter Bradle all alone underneath the basket. He kind of gingerly put that up. He wanted to make sure he didn't miss that layup, and then they get the basket interference call.
And to his credit, he did make it. He knew darn well that some incredibly quick athletes were coming after him, and he kept his composure, had his eye on the rim, and didn't look back, and did a great job of finishing. Right here, Darien needs to get good player movement and good screening, and to also, you've got to send somebody long here because they're going to gamble up front, and you might be able to throw it right over the top, and the ball game's over. If you can just get it in and be strong with the ball, they'll be forced to foul you, and you walk to the free throw line at the other end. And Darien's got to know here, Damien, do they have a timeout, and can they call one if they need it? And McMahon just let them throw the ball in bounds.
And that will do it. As Darien is going to come away with their first win in the FCIAC as they beat Brien McMahon 58-52 in come-from-behind fashion. A great effort by both teams, a well-played game. A game, as you said so eloquently throughout the broadcast, basketball is a game of momentum, and we certainly saw a lot of momentum shifts in this game.
Unbelievably, I tell you, I am so impressed with Darien's composure and the physical nature, the courage and the competitiveness of their play. I like the balance they have with outside players and inside players. They're going about 8 players deep right now with their bench. I love the way they look up court against the press, pass the ball unselfishly. There was a lot to really like, and I think Darien can use the way they went inside offensively and got great percentage shots on offense, and the way that they were able to jam the lane and force difficult shots on defense. There was a lot here they can look at on this tape and use to build going into the second half of the season. And Darien is going to be no joyride for anybody. They are always a tough out. As we mentioned earlier, Sharoy Bentley has done a nice job with this program. He sure has.
Justin Jordan, the leading scorer for the Blue Wave, 19 points. Just 3 points in the second half. He had 16 at the end of the first half. Had a monster first half, did Justin Jordan. Played well, saw the floor well, hit some big threes. And contributions really from everybody on that Darien roster.
That, I think, is another really big positive out of this game. When they needed Justin Jordan, he was there at the beginning of the game. When he went cold, there were other guys on the team that picked up the team. And the fact that Darien has several guys on the floor that they can go to, I think is another thing that bodes well for them. Darien should take a lot of pride out of this game, I think, and a lot of confidence and run with it maybe they can put together a little string here and get a little something going, because they were very impressive tonight. And Coach Bentley's just doing a great job. Just keep doing what you're doing.
After 3 straight losses, Darien gets a win. They improve to 3-4 overall, 1-4 in the FCIAC. Always big getting that first win in conference. Partner, it has been a pleasure.
Absolutely great to be with you.
We'll do it again, right?
I'll be waiting anxiously to our next time to do it. And I'll tell you, if we can get a game half as exciting as this one was, we'll be really fortunate.
What a game to broadcast. The JV game was a great game to broadcast as well. For our entire production crew, Jackson Leone, Ben Olson, and of course Brendan Ross, Tom O'Donnell, I am Damian Andrew. This has been a production of the Darien Athletic Foundation. Again, Darien beats Brien McMahon 58-52. Have a great night, everybody.
Wave ball.